Well, I met my husband in 1953. I was an airline stewardess, and he was a blind date. And I was stationed in Washington, D.C., and he was with Banner. And he took me up to dinner and asked me if I would like a drink, and I said no, I gave it up for Lent because I didn't drink. And he just stuck around to see how much I did drink, and by then we fell in love, and we got married in September of 53.
Okay. And introduce us to your two lovely
This is my oldest son, Michael, and this is one of my twins, Patricia. She has a twin brother who couldn't make it tonight.
Okay, and then how many of the other crew members were you close with the other crew members? Did they get together and have crew parties?
Yeah, I knew Tony Caswick, but he wasn't with his crew, because it was like a crew that he flew with beforehand. I think they switched around after he got to Iceland.
Right.
And so I knew some of them, but I didn't know them as well as I should have. I was on the board station, and there was a couple of the girls whose husbands were aboard, and I went down to tell them what had happened. And it was a little funny because they didn't have the right name. The plane was, his plane was being painted with the number 2 on it because he had just taken over as exec.
Right.
And so they were in a Commander airplane. Not the, I don't remember his name. But anyway, they were in another airplane, and they thought that was the crew that went down. So there was a mix-up in Jacksonville.
Okay, and when did you actually find out? Did you find out from Robert Petway that there were maybe still some people in the crash site? Was that not a few years ago you also found out?
Yes.
And as far as just tell us any comments you'd like to make, anything you want from any one of you.
Well, I just hope and pray to God they bring them back, because I remember I was in limbo until they found the airplane, and it's a relief to know that they're at their final resting place. I really want them to bring the other fellows back. I think their families will be relieved too.
They need closure. Would you all like to add anything?
It was, that's part of Navy life, I guess.
How old were you when your dad's plane went down?
7, 8?
No, 7.
7?
Okay.
We were kids.
Yeah.
After the plane went down, we had to vacate quarters on the base. Mom moved us over up to a neighborhood in Benicia, about 3 miles down the road from the Jackson AS main entrance. I remember growing up in Jacksonville, going to grade school, high school there. We would pedal our bikes to the Navy base. We'd go to the boat club pool in the summers. We'd go crabbing off the dock in the back. We'd literally pedal our bikes out to the flight line and kind of tick off the Marines. They'd run out and chase us off.
The Navy Marines.
It was good times growing up around Jackson AS. Good memories along that way. And then, we move on. We go to school, move out of town, that sort of thing. Time marches on. I was playing around on the internet and stumbled on the VP Navy website. That was my introduction to Bob Petway. Bob has been the tip of the spear on this recovery mission. He did not know that there were people left behind. And based on the Major's comments tonight, as he headed up the recovery team's efforts, we can't appreciate the hardships that they went through trying to find these men. We can't appreciate the conditions that they were working under, or the severe weather conditions that were closing in on them, which forced them to cut their mission short. They did the best job that they could at that time. We find out, however, almost 40 years later, that there were people left behind. Now we're trying to rectify that.
Right.
Like I said, Bob Petway has been the absolute leader on this. And hopefully that through his efforts, we'll see the Navy CNO make the decision to go forward with a recovery so that we can if we can repay our obligation to these fellows.
I believe that they can't get this summer, we'll eat them next summer. I really do. Pam, would you like to add anything, Ken?
Well, I'm thinking we learned that there were still remains on the site in August of 2001. And then, of course, in September 2001, we had the horrible incident with the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. So, obviously, this was placed on the back burner because there were other priorities. Then we went to war with Iraq, and when I started thinking back, there have always been priorities. There has always been something going on in the world, some major incident. So I really don't want any more excuses. I think it's time to go back and do something. And we know that the Icelandic team has already volunteered to do this. So if our own government can't do it, then I wish they would allow the Icelandic group to do so. Just take care of it.
All right. Okay, well.